What's good? We are back live from Fayettenam. I'm the one and only Paul Masson, and we about to bring on a special guest. You know how I do. I like to go digging in the crates for my interviews, and kind of bring some cats on that people might be, forgetting about and overlooking right now. So we're gonna bring on a special guest, the one and only Mr. Lynn from Company Flow.
Peace, peace. What's going on?
I'm doing good. How you doing tonight, man?
All right, man. As long as these cats ain't forgetting about me, man. You know what I mean?
I definitely ain't, man. I definitely ain't. So I'm gonna start with a basic question.
All right.
Like who or what got you into DJing?
Uh, the first person I ever heard mix was my dad. He wasn't an actual DJ though, but like he did this mix for me uh like 6 days before I was born. So like coming up, that was like the first things that I would ever listen to was this 8 track that he made. So like I would
Oh
listen to this
man.
over, but like he found a way to uh to blend or fade between songs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, with just this 8 track recorder. It was like it's brilliant and like it was just smooth as hell, and it was funky. So like that's what I grew up on. Like that's what really got me into like wanting to DJ.
Now, how much longer, like after you started DJing, did you start producing?
Uh, it's hard to say. Because like I played instruments. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
like you always have like music in your head, and like you make up things. You record some things every now and then, but like it's like when people say production, I'm guessing you mean like things that actually went out. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
not long, man. Like because like it's all part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at least for me, it was all part of it. You know what I'm saying? So like you you come across a break record, and you're like, hey man, this is the drums for such and such. So now like you start off trying to recreate a beat, and then it never comes out right, and you end up making your own beat. You know what I'm saying? It might sound kind of trash, and I guess the real question is when did I get good?
Yeah.
when did I make something that was worthy of coming out? And that's not till like the
So
'90s.
you and LP founded a group in like '92. It says, and it says y'all met each other where you were hired as a DJ at a birthday party. Like, how did that lead to y'all forming Company Flow?
So he was signed to this label called Libra. I
Okay.
was I was interning. The one of the owners of Libra was a manager, and I was interning for the management company. And he was like, "Yo, I got this dude who wants to be in the group, and he's a DJ." And it was around the time of his birthday. It was I think it was like around March, and he was like, "Yo, both their birthdays around the same time." He was like, "This was his way of getting me to DJ the party for free." I was just
Okay.
I was just meeting LP for the first time, so like L was just like, "Yo, who's this dude that's about to DJ my party?" You know what I'm saying? So like we're meeting each other, but like oh boy, like the dude that was running it, like found a way. Like he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you to DJ for free." But like it was LP's birthday party, and like that's where we connected.
So then it says LP met Big Just. Y'all guys formed the trio.
Hmm.
Y'all drop an EP called Fun Crusher.
Hmm.
Um what like who came up with that name and what's the meaning behind that name?
So it's kind of like a sort of an inside joke. Um, Basically, we were saying like like the the kind of music that was popular at the time, everyone considered it to be fun, and here we were
Uh-huh.
like the guys that was a little left of that, you know. So like we were like,
I
yeah,
get it
we're
now. So y'all were kind of going against the fun. Y'all crushing fun.
yeah, it really makes sense when I believe it's 8 steps. I'm sick of your corny beats and your crowd involved hosts because I'm a thinker. Evil ain't is letting off stinkers. Like that is basically like the the philosophy and like the energy behind like Fun Crusher.
Now, what was the process for you guys getting exposure back then?
Oh man, back then you really had to you had to pound the concrete, man. You know, like you had to go to radio stations. You had to meet DJs where they were. Um, at the time, I was working at Jive in the dub room, so like I had access to some people. Uh, but yeah, man, it was you're not sitting around sending out MP3s, to like to mass emails. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you're spending a little bit of bread to get tapes made, or like you're getting promo vinyl pressed, and like you're trying to get it to as many people as you can, as well as sell what you can, try and make some money back.
Now, y'all had a bidding war, it said, for y'all guys when y'all on, I guess y'all on Libra, and then y'all decided to sign with Ruckus. Like, what was the thought process on like waiting?
It wasn't really a thought process on waiting as much as
Yeah.
it was, you you kind of regrouping. When
Okay.
things go sour with the first label, like, yeah, okay, well, what is our plan now? What is the point of what we're doing? Uh, and what's funny when it's Libra with Juvenile Techniques at the time, it's really just me and L. Company Flow really starts off me and LP,
Okay.
and Just comes in later. Um, so like it's after Juvenile Techniques, we were like, all right, you gotta think about like what are we doing now? Like what's the point of you're leaving a indie label. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you trying to get signed? Are you trying to do this yourself? And we ended
Yeah.
up doing it ourselves, and then got distribution deals rather than signing to labels.
Okay. So when you were with Ruckus, that was just a distribution deal?
Yeah, Rawkus distributed official recordings.
And now you followed up the EP with basically an LP with more songs, correct?
Yeah, so the EP was 8 songs, and then we added songs for Fun Crusher Plus.
Yeah, Fun Crusher Plus. Now,
Right.
what was the thought process behind that? We actually had a group in Fayetteville that did that. They one of the biggest group, actually the group that mentored J. Cole. That's how they did back in the days. They dropped the EP and they dropped the LP, which was the same songs in the EP, but more songs in the LP. Like, what was the thought process behind that?
It was just that you're still pushing your original.
The original material?
Yeah, yeah, and like when uh when we did this deal with Ruckus, we said, okay, well, obviously we're not going to re-release the EP, but like what we'll do is we'll make it a full length for, because like there's a lot of people that still wasn't up on the EP.
Yeah.
So like rather than like scrap it, or not really scrap it, but like act like it's not there and then do something new, just add on to it. So like now everyone's caught up, everyone's on the same page.
And I think that was genius because my next question is about my favorite song from y'all, man.
Mm.
Is the 8 Steps to Perfection. To this
Okay.
day, I think it's one of the most unique hip hop sounds. How'd you discover that sound, man? And do you feel like that set the tone for the direction of the album?
Uh, well, L did that beat. The beat
Okay.
like sound wise, like it. I don't think it. Well, I guess for a lot of people, it defined our sound. For us, it
Uh-huh.
was we was just trying to make dope shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, it wasn't like it wasn't like we were trying to like, okay, this is gonna be the cold flow sound, and it was just like, and that beat was dope, right? You know what I'm saying? Because like that beat don't sound like Crazy Kings, and it don't sound like End to End Burner. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, we're doing all kinds of different stuff. It's, yeah.
Yeah, I love that song though, man. Like every time I was listening to it like all this week, man, and last week, and I just it's still like it still seems unique today, you know what I'm saying, when I listen to it. Now, your album cover, you had like aliens on the cover. Did that cover have something to do with like your futuristic sound on the album?
So the original EP, that Fun Crusher, we flip it. Sometimes the Goblin, sometimes the Alien, depending on like how we feel. But originally we called it the Goblin, and
Okay.
the the Fun Crusher Goblin was done by a another roommate of LP's at the time. When we did the full length, we uh we were able to get Matt Do to do a version of it. So if you look in the center of Fun Crusher, Fun Crusher Plus, you'll
Hmm.
see he did a version of the original Alien on its knees.
Okay.
But in around it now is the world that Matt Do uh, built around it. Then on the flip side was a graph piece done by Ewok. The graph piece originally was going to be the cover,
Okay.
but because we were able to get in touch with Matt Do, who was already doing album covers and had just done Organized Confusion, the Extinction, uh, the Stress album,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
the Extinction Agenda. Yeah, he did that cover. So we were like, yo, this is uh,
Yeah, and that was a pretty animated cover too. I remember that cover.
yeah.
So, what was the reaction you were getting for people when they listened to Fun Crusher Plus album at that time? And do you feel like that album like changed hip hop at that time? Because I know in Fayetteville, it changed the way the hip hop heads went forward, just producing and just the sounds and things of that nature.
I don't know if I definitely I'm not in a place to say that it changed hip hop.
Yeah.
It changed hip hop for me because like
Okay.
I'm in this group and like now I'm traveling. You know what I'm saying? And like people want to hear me scratch and you know what I'm saying? So like yeah, it changed hip hop for me because like I realized like, oh, like I actually can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's no longer just me around my way and like, my friends like, hey, you sound good. Like now it's like, oh, like people in Germany said I sound
Yeah.
good. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a whole other thing. Um how people received it, I honestly, but like I'm one of the people I only pay attention to people that like me. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? I don't know. Like I'm sure people hated it, but like
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I only like, if you was giving me a you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you know what I'm saying? You was my people then. So like I only pay attention to people that liked it. If you played it, you know what I'm saying? Like so those are the DJs that like I ended up getting cool with. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's like I'm conceited. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
like I'm not I know people want to be humble with my music, bro, like this is me. You know what I'm saying? Like so like I'm proud of it. I love it. So like yeah, if you love it, then we people. You know what I'm saying? Like if you hated it, like like, we not enemies, but like I got no reason to talk to you. Like we got nothing to talk about. So like
I could tell you in my city, which coming up, there was a lot of hip hop heads, and they were all big on that album because it was just they never heard nothing like that before at that time, you know.
yeah, and
Now, go ahead.
we, we never we didn't set out to be different.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like one of the things that me and L bonded over, I don't know if y'all remember the box. Remember you call up and you order
Yeah,
videos?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So like, we would be at his crib sometime and like, we'll put on the box and we see like the videos that people are ordering. And like sometimes it was garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like you're basically sitting around waiting for a Black Moon video to come on. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
it's like we bonded over like hating some of the same garbage. You know what I'm saying? So like like we just were kind of going in the same directions. Like we didn't set out to be different. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, nah, this is just what we're on.
Now, when Big Just decided to go solo, was there like any ill will, or was it just like he felt like doing his own thing?
He was always supposed to do his own thing. That's why like
Okay.
on the album, like those guys have solo songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always like, kind of what happens though is like people got introduced to the three man,
Uh huh.
but like it's not like we can explain to you this one guy is gonna he's gonna go off and do his own thing. Like people were just like, hey, it's LP, Big Justin, Len. You know what I'm saying? So like that's people how people know it. But Cold Flow essentially is me and LP.
Now, y'all had relationship with Ruck is kind of disintegrated. Says the label was accused of neglecting the group's talent and being financially dishonest. And in what ways were they neglecting your talent? And did y'all ever regret signing that deal with them?
Uh, well, neglecting the talent for me was this was the camel that the straw that broke the camel's back for me. We
Yeah.
were we were overseas, and instead of them sending us Fun Crusher promo stuff,
Uh-huh.
they sent over Body Rock. Remember that song Body Rock?
Yeah. Most
Taz,
Def, right?
Taz, Q-Tip, and most Def. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they're sending over that stuff. So I was like, well, why would you know what I'm saying? Like they're not even on the road with us,
So they wanted y'all to pass out and promote
bro.
the
I that
Body Rock joint?
that part. You know what I'm saying? That point, I don't know what they expected. I never
Yeah.
because like there's nothing for me to say to you because like I'm in Europe and you just sent me. You know what I'm saying? Like these
Somebody else's material to promote.
like,
That's crazy.
yeah, so wherever we was, like we just left it there because like I'm not gonna carry around. Like I love those guys. You know what I'm saying? But like
Yeah. I get it.
I really don't give a shit about that record. Like I'm carrying my records and like whatever
Yeah.
promo stuff you need, you know. So like that for me was kind of like egregious.
No,
Um
it is. That's disrespectful as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, so like and like I said back then, I don't know if it was a mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all I know is, bro, I'm in Europe and this is not me. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah,
sent me pictures
yeah.
of other people. Uh Financially, like I'm not. I really don't get into business talk. You know what I'm saying? Like publicly because like
Yeah.
just on GP, like especially now, like it really don't make a difference. Like that was more than a decade ago.
But that is totally crazy. I mean, I never heard nothing like that. Somebody sending another artist material for a different artist to promote it. I mean, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. And it was funny, like because you're at a record store, or, like you're at this signing, and like these Bite Rock things come out. So, but fans don't care. You know,
Yeah.
like they're bringing me this thing. They're like, I know it's not you. So like I'm putting bubbles like this is not Mr. Landon. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like yeah, it's that to me was one of the wackest things they did.
Yeah, that seems like you diehards were just supporting anything that you were,
Yeah,
still passing out just because 'cause they're diehards.
right.
So, you and LP decided to go separate ways. I mean, y'all there wasn't no issues with y'all, right? Y'all were was it just life, going 2 different directions?
Yeah, yeah. So
Now, you started, Dummy Smack Records. Now, how'd you come up with that name?
Dummy Smack was something we used to do when we was kids. You
Okay.
say something stupid, you smack them. Uh, so like yeah, like it was.
Is that a New York thing? Dummy Smacks?
I don't know. Maybe it was just something I was doing because like people like I remember people playing it. I remember playing it. Uh,
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was something he was doing in my projects. I don't know. Like because when you're a kid, like your whole world is what's happening in front of you.
Yeah.
I just always like the sound of dummy smacks. Well, the sound of smacking someone, but also like the sound of
So 2001, you dropped the album "Pity the Fool," which is Mr. T's slogan. What can you tell us about that album?
uh that album was where I connected with a lot of people that I would end up working with consistently. So like Juggernauts, Jean Grey, Kaiser Course, Mr. Live, um, Mass Influence, uh, Prince Paul, uh, God bless Don Newkirk. You know what I'm saying? Like we were all people that helped me out on that. Q Unique, Destroy, Lord Sear. Like these are all people that like a lot of people that was on that album. I still work with somewhat in some capacity.
And speaking of Prince Paul, that was going to be one of my questions. What is it like working with Prince Paul?
I'm shit. It's wild fun, bro. Like it's Paul. It's if you're if you're a producer, like
Hmm.
there's a there's a there's a side of you that is in awe. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, I'm seeing I'm seeing like how the sandwiches are. You know what I'm saying? How everything is made. Uh, but then if you're working with him just like as a friend or like as like an artist, it's the one thing that I learned from Paul is you work with people that you wouldn't mind traveling with.
Okay.
You know, uh,
That makes a lot of sense,
yeah,
especially if you're gonna be touring and doing material with somebody. You don't wanna be like, Busta and, Charlie Brown fist fighting before the show and after the show.
right. So I look at some of the people that he was always working with, and like they were cool people, bro. Like Mr. Dead, Don Newkirk, Buster Bus. Who else? There was I forget my man, the Italian dude, the black Italian guy, man. He always Pop Master. He worked with Pop Master, bro. He's just it's it's the work before the fun part and then the work after the fun part that makes what Paul does genius.
You said dude's a black Italian?
Yeah, Pop Master. So if you listen to 3 Feet High and Rising, and
Okay,
actually
da
he's on 3 Feet High and Rising and he's on De La Soul is Dead. Rufus
okay,
the Moon, freaking lick him. That's Pop Master.
okay, I'm gonna have to go check that out, that's crazy.
On one of the
So
skits, they talk about oh, De La Soul is better than my mother's lasagna. Hey, it's like your big spaghetti. Hey. He does that like it's one of the De La skits. That dude's mad funny. He's wild funny.
so you formed a group with, Kamani Rogers from the Masterminds named Roosevelt Franklin, so I'm guessing that group is named after Franklin D. Roosevelt?
No,
No? Okay.
Roosevelt Franklin was the Black Muppet from Sesame Street.
Wow. You
Yeah,
learn something new every day.
yeah.
You learn something new every day. That's crazy. I'm definitely gonna have to research that. I swear I thought it was Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Yeah, nah. It's Roosevelt Franklin was the Black Muppet created by Matt Robinson. Matt
Okay.
Robinson is Holly Robinson's dad.
Yeah, I think I was so young back then, I don't remember, like, none of the names of the Muppets. I just remember the Muppets.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, like, they phased Roosevelt Franklin out pretty early. Like, he was like basically from the '70s.
Okay.
Like I said, he was black culture
Y
for a lot of us coming up.
I was born in '79, that's probably why I wasn't too familiar with it.
Okay, yeah, like they might have phased them out by the time you were able to start watching Sesame Street. Yeah, I'm 75, so like
Wow, you
I
75?
yeah
You don't Oh, you were born in 1975.
1975. I'm 75 years
I
old,
mean,
bro.
you're 75. You don't look 75, dude, at all.
No, I'm not 75 years old, bro. But yeah, I got like the Roosevelt Franklin records and all that. Like,
Now, says you became a voice actor in for American action comedy television series Kung Fao. Like, how did the opportunity come about?
yeah, Kung Fu. Wow, what do you read?
Kung
What
Fu?
yeah, is that on my wiki?
Yeah, that's on your wiki.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, Kung Fu is so I used to do voiceovers on this. The guy used to I feel like I'm stumbling over everything. He used to license old kung fu movies, like the joints we used to watch on Saturdays.
Okay.
They edit them down to like 22 minutes, and me, Sarah, Gene, Live, Sadat, Rock Raider, we would do
Wow.
voiceovers, yeah, like make it comedy.
So all y'all were working on that series, Sadat and Rock Raider too?
Yeah.
And you
So
said
like,
Gene, talking about Gene Gray?
yeah, so like a lot of times,
Okay.
like Gene would narrate it because she's like, basically like, it wasn't a lot of like female characters in a lot of these movies, so like there was like one or two, so we would have her narrate. Um, a lot of times, like because like they would have like a lot of guests in. So like I would do a bunch of voices, and then sometimes they would bring people in to redo the voices that like I was doing.
So I got a DJ question for you. We always talk about this. Like, so back in the days, you had, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince,
Hmm.
Pete Rock and CL Smooth. A lot of times the DJs' names came first. You got Coogee Rap and DJ Polo. The DJ names were Showbiz and AG. Showbiz was first. You always had the DJ names included. Why do you think DJs are like been basically excluded out of the group dynamic, or just even the rapper DJ duo dynamic?
Well, when hip hop goes corporate and the money comes in, right? The people at the label don't understand what the DJ is for, because they're
Yeah.
like, if he's just playing the records that's already a record, like why can't you just hit play on a machine, or So they basically convince a lot of rappers to look,
To DJ?
no, not to DJ, but like, hey, get rid of your DJ,
Okay.
because like this DJ is in every city you go to.
Yeah.
So like, just have like, like, because the DJ is like not really part of your show. So like now you've already separated the DJ and the MC.
Mm-hmm.
MCs feel like, well, yeah, why am I paying a DJ half of, what I'm saying, like, of my fee, when I can just pay this guy, $100, $200, and like, be on to the next spot, and so like the the role of the DJ in someone's stage show became diminished because people stopped respecting their own stage shows. They let,
Yeah.
they let people talk them out of good stage shows. Like, but if you're only using your DJ to play just your beat, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Then either you need a better show, what I'm saying, or like you need to expand your library, and like understand like what goes into a stage show. So like there are people now that have like, well, touring DJs instead of having
Yeah.
DJs be part of your group. Where now, like, okay, like I'm not cutting my DJ into like my into to the money that I make off the music. You know what I'm saying? I just cut them into, what I get touring. And
So I'd
now,
be like a Who kid, right?
yeah. And then that's why like a lot of times like the music starts to suffer, because like if
Yeah.
you have a DJ sitting in on your session, like how you know what's knocking? How you know what works? If your DJ isn't saying like, yeah, I would play this, or you don't have like, your DJ, what I'm saying, someone that understands what you're doing, so they can tell you, look, like this is what this sounds like, or this ain't gonna work. You're saying like you need that kind of person in your, not just on your team, but like, on stage with you, like part of your process, because like we're the ones that actually play the music.
Well, it sounds like what you're saying is the labels convinced the rappers to just use the local rappers
Use a
at
local
the
DJ.
at the show. Yeah, the
Like,
local DJs and pay them
when you
crumbs.
first started watching hip hop videos and everything, right? There was a DJ, there was dancers, right? Because
Yeah.
remember, hip hop is a party, and now
Yeah.
now it's just a guy walking back and forth, or it's a bunch of dudes on stage, and like one guy walking back and forth, and they're yelling at a guy who you can tell has nothing to do with the other people on stage. How is
You
this
know
a
how
show?
I knew DJ and like the term like was diluted down when like I had an on demand radio station and then coast to coast like sent like a DJ. I was like, what the I just do radio. And that's why I knew like they got to redefine what a DJ rappers, they don't have the scratching element either too, which I can't stand it. I want to hear more scratching in the song.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you were to, if when Guns N' Roses was new, right, and you
Hmm.
was to go to Axl Rose and be like, "Yo, we don't need Slash," you're like, "What the fuck kind of rock group would this be without guitars?" So think about it. In hip
Yeah.
hop, they managed to convince people to get rid of their bands.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you on stage. Like, what are you fucking? You know what I'm saying? Like it's some kind of musical, like a movie where like the music just plays out of the sky and like now you're rapping. Come on, bro. Gotta do better than that.
A lot of sense. That kind of makes the weaker now because you don't got a DJ back there scratching and cutting nothing up, which is really good. That could really scratch and cut real good too, man.
I mean, like, look, like I said, if you're going to a rock concert and like you don't see guitars, like you're like, well, what kind of rock concert is this? There's no guitars, there's no drums, or it's just you know what I'm saying? Like what is this? But that's what they've done to the music now. So that's where the culture is.
What's your opinion of Run the Jewel? Because I heard a story about how they came together. LP's manager managed Killer Mike and said, "Hey, y'all need to get in a group together."
You asked me how Run the Jewels started?
Well, that's what I heard it was.
Oh, I don't really know.
What's your opinion of Run the Jewels, though?
What I think of the group?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I imagine you'd have to think I'd be pretty biased. Like my friend is in the group.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
But they're pretty amazing too, though.
yeah. I mean, bro, like that group lasted as long or longer than Cold Flow.
That's crazy. Like, will we ever see another Company Flow album again? You think?
I don't know.
Has
I
it ever been
I
discussed?
always say I'll never say no. You know what I'm saying? Because like one day I might be like, yo, you know what? I want to like let's you know what I'm saying? Like everyone's like, yo, you know what? Fuck it, let's just do it. But like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like tomorrow's not promised, and you know what I'm saying? Like everything's a question mark.
Now, how often do you, LP, and Big Just like stay in contact with each other?
You mean like all three of us talking?
Yeah. Well, just like you and them. Like, how often do you
I,
stay?
when
Yeah,
I talk to those
yeah.
guys pretty often. I talk to them at least like once, twice a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people, man. They just like they don't even. Some of these groups, they don't even talk to each other no more.
Yeah. I mean, well, also me, bro, like I don't keep enemies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like and me and those guys was never enemies. So like it's gonna be a while before like I just cut them off.
Now, do you got any new projects that you're working on personally?
Yeah, I got this new thing I'm doing called Life in Dakota. I just did like well over the spring going to summer I did a record with Merce. Before that was a breakbeat record with the record called Store Run that has it's very familiar. You know, the quarter milk, stick of butter, loaf of bread. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear it. Store Run. It's on Bandcamp, Life in Dakota Bandcamp. But yeah, there's that, and then I started doing stand up.
Okay.
Yeah, so
How long you been doing that?
stand up. Next week will be a year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got a nice little local comedy scene around here. I always used to when I stayed on the other side of town, every Monday I would go to this open mic with check out a lot of people coming in from like Raleigh area, Charlotte area, Durham. Of course, I'm in Fayetteville, which we call Fayettenam. Y'all
yeah.
ever came through Fayetteville, North Carolina, back in the days?
We didn't really do the states too much.
Oh, y'all were overseas mainly?
Yeah, if we did the states, it was more like mainly like major markets, and even then, like not all the main ones. Like we didn't do Chicago until we reunited.
Oh
Uh,
man.
we never did Miami. We did like one show in Atlanta. Uh, we did the Bay. We did LA, and like we did like South by Southwest like once or twice. But yeah, like, outside of that, bro, like everything was really like Europe, Canada, Japan.
Japan, yeah, Japan is really a good market, I heard. Now you said something about Bandcamp. Now, right now there's this movement of A lot of people saying we need to go back to the direct to consumer because of streaming. Like, what's your opinion on all this?
My opinion on streaming.
Streaming and just going back to direct to consumer.
Well, I mean, for me, it's not. I'm never going back because like I never left. Like
Yeah,
most people,
yeah.
yeah, most people are like, if you're getting something, a lot of times if you're getting something from me, very very rarely am I in that place where like it's super manufactured. Like only just now with like the cold flow merch is
Uh
that
huh.
like it's the only time like this is the only merch that's like actually not coming by like, through my hands. And that's just because like I can't I couldn't handle those orders. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a lot. There's a lot that happened. Like there's a lot because like we never really did merch like that. So like
Hmm.
when I started to release merch, like people started to react to it, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I could handle any of these orders. Uh, so yeah, it's that's pretty much where.
And have you put any of your music up on streaming platforms at all?
um, some of it's up, but I don't miss it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
people people like, oh, you know, if you don't have it up there, people will never hear it. And I'm like, well, people ain't never listening to it. Like if if you go up, if you're on Spotify, most people are not going to Spotify to hear underground hip hop or like
you're right.
to discover like, oh, let me discover this new group. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like it's I'm going to Spotify because I heard, you know, Trey Songz got a new record out, Beyonce got a new
Yep.
record out. And that's why like most of the money is directed and funneled towards them. Am I missing the 200 people that might listen to it? You know what I'm saying? Because like clearly at that point it's not about the money. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But like it's about the ears. And truthfully, like I get just as much with IG and get just as much with TikTok.
Yeah.
If you decide to spend $5, $8 to promote it, you know what I'm saying? 3,000 people it'll definitely go across 3,000 people's eyes and ears. I can't I don't know how that works with Spotify.
So you be on TikTok? I'm big with TikTok. I endorse TikTok heavily.
Uh I'm like Life in Dakota is on TikTok. It's it's slow for me because like I'm not always on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying like I get it, but like for me it's there's so much stuff to do in a day. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, like most of the time, like I'm on IG or like I'm up here in the studio, like boom. You know what I'm saying? So like TikTok for me is like I have to remember to get on it, and it's like a job, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas like IG is like click 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 click, put up a couple of pictures, boom, I'm done. You know?
Well, when I say I'm big on TikTok, I'm actually kind of referring more to the results you get, like with breaking records, because they were able to break like that, Bobby Caldwell.
Yeah,
So they were able to break that record again on TikTok, where most people didn't even know the dude was white. Everybody thought he was black until he came out and rebroke it. And they've been able to take a lot of old songs and re-break them on TikTok. And then it's just like we just did a post today for a client, and we got like 8,000 views in the first hour. And, those are really good numbers when you're not really advertising and whatnot.
right.
So yeah, I'm kind of big on TikTok, and I think like if they shut it down and ban it, I think the major labels are gonna be screwed because they break artists, but TikTok because labels don't know how to break artists. They don't
Yeah,
they don't know
I
how to
mean
do it.
they don't know how to break artists. They actually don't know how to find artists either.
Yep.
If if you're going strictly by numbers, right, then you're not.
Hmm.
What are you listening to? You know what I'm saying? Because like last time I checked, like no one listens to the numbers. Like they actually listen to the actual. You know what I'm saying? Like, otherwise, like you're just just be a mathematician. You know what I'm saying? Just play with numbers all day. But like we make music, so like it's gonna go back to the days where like you're gonna have to find your people through the people, like through who they're listening to. You know,
Yeah.
like if you're in New York and like you want the Funk Master Flex people, like you got to make a Funk Master Flex record and like give the record to
Yeah.
Flex or whatever whatever his deal is, that you handle that. But like, yeah, if TikTok goes out of business or whatever, they shut it down. Like like the fact that labels depend on social media is sad because you're a major label. You know what I'm saying? Like you have access. You have access to Billboard. Like people are in their cars every day. You know what I'm saying? Jermaine Dupri used to have billboards in Atlanta. That's how people. You know what I'm saying? Oh yes, he's from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? He becomes an Atlanta staple. He becomes an Atlanta institution. You know what I'm saying? So deaf. So like you trying to tell me that you're Universal Records and you can't advertise your new pop artist?
And I think a big part of the numbers problem, that thing, no lie. Well, that's a lie when it comes to. I know for a fact that 90% or more independent playlisters use bots,
Yeah,
and I would almost say it's probably around 90%. You know what I'm saying? Because playlisters, they don't have no influencer or Instagram influencer or a YouTube influencer. They got zero, so they get plays if they have no influence. Bots, and it's crazy. They're literally going off of fake numbers. Like they don't care about building fan base or anything of that nature anymore.
yeah. I get it. There's nothing to. First of all, music is no longer tangible, right? So like
Yeah.
one of the reasons to make a good record is that money actually went into production of said record. So like you can't waste your label's money. You know what I'm saying? Because like essentially like, it comes out of your own pocket. Like you got to pay that
Yeah.
back. So like you're gonna make a record that's worth being pressed, or so you think is worth being pressed. But now think about this: J. Cole made a record called "Might Delete Later," and he deleted it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that if your record's on vinyl. You can't do that if your record's pressed on cassette.
Yeah.
There's no might delete. Like no, there's no might delete. Your record's pressed. The record's out.
And he still wasn't totally able out there. So many people
Yeah,
reacted to it, it. And for my city, we were really upset about that because he's from Fayetteville, North Carolina. So that was a big disappointment for us.
it did. Like, how did you feel when he apologized though?
I was totally upset. I didn't get what are you apologizing for? I mean, like, I don't think Kendrick and Cole would ever got as personal as Drake and Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would ever got there. I don't think Kendrick took it personal. And like you just did a song where you said like you Kendrick and Cole are top 3. Like you bigger than the Super Bowl. Like you said you could be the GOAT. The great just bowed out, man. Like that. It's definitely not reflective of the mindset. We got this militant mind. I could tell you anybody else that would have been in their shoes from Fayetteville, they wouldn't have backed down. They would have went all the way with it.
My issue
I
is
think
this:
it made us look bad, man. To be honest with you, man.
I don't think it made y'all look bad. To me, it was a sucker move because he had a lot of time. So like when you finish a song in the studio, right? You trying to tell me, bro,
Hmm.
you finished this disc record and you didn't go back home and listen to it. You didn't take it to your people and play it and listen to it more than once, more than
Yeah,
twice, 10, 15 times on your you didn't you trying to tell me you drove home in your car or even on your bike, right, with your headphones in, and you didn't listen to it. You waited until the song was out right? And people didn't give you the response that you wanted. And then you was like, "Yo, I'm taking it back, my bad." What, bro? Stand on that, b.
Yeah,
Because
because
like
I could tell you
what
the city was
you
going
said,
crazy.
yeah, you said some shit in the song, and it's like it was just song one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All you was doing, it was like when people playing poker and they're like, "Yo, you put your money in." All you was doing, you put your money in. But then he was like, "No, no, 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 Omar, I gotta buy ices." Like what, nigga? Fuck out of here, bro.
I think what it made it worse for our city is the very first line he said was "lights out like it's PWC." That's our electric company here in Fayetteville. So for us, we were like, yeah, yeah. He shouted out Fayetteville first, and then he walked it back, and then we was like, no, 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 no.
It was it was a sucker move. Like for somebody that, and it's not even about what he says about himself.
Yeah,
For someone that actually has talent, you know what I'm saying? Like you 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 would want to see him use it boldly,
yeah.
you know. So like I understand the disappointment. He definitely didn't make his city look bad though. Like,
But we because this is the same guy that had a battle with Little Pump. I guess you could call it battle, and then interviewed Little Pump afterwards.
yeah, like he's a. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if J. Cole's a hugger. Like like after the fight, you know what I'm saying? Come on,
Yeah, yo, yeah, yeah, yeah. He's one of those. Okay, yeah.
nah, dude, like you can't do
I
that.
actually interview a lot of bare knuckle fighters, and to be honest with you, a lot of those guys are huggers.
Yeah, but you know what? I'd much rather like after a bare knuckle fight, we need to be
Hug
cool.
it out, yeah,
We need to be friends because like those things are brutal.
yeah,
Those things are brutal.
yep. Well, before I let you go, man, any shout outs you want to do?
Um, man, but you know what? North Carolina, like I haven't been down there in a while, so like I still got family in Hosky, everybody in North Carolina. So
You said where?
a Hosky,
I ain't even heard of that. There's so many places in North Carolina you ain't even heard of.
bro. That's I get country.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds about country. We got a lot of we got a lot of country spots, and we got our city spots, but we got a lot of country spots.
Yeah, I got like I said, I got family in the Hosky, family in Charlotte. Uh, yeah, man. Shout out North Carolina. I gotta make a trip.
Definitely. Well, if you do, let me know. I'll try to see if I can link up with you and Polly, man. So you're a friend of the show. So anytime you want to come on, please do, man. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna start clipping up a bunch of clips, man. I try to clip up as many clips as I can and throw them out there
Yeah,
into the universe.
we are talking shit about J. Cole. Let's get some shit viral.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna trust me. I'll clip it up. I ain't gonna hold back, man. Like people know how I feel about the J. Cole situation. They know I'm like totally disappointed with him.
Yeah, like I said, he didn't make the scene look bad. It was just a weird move for a dude like bro. After you make a song, like if it wasn't in your spirit after you said it,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it really looks like some sucker shit where like you waited until the song was out, you didn't get the reaction, and then you was like, "And I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it." Like,
Well,
what?
some people say the inner circle, some of the inner circle, like kind of pressured him and said, "You got to say something." I mean, because he said something first, really,
Yeah,
but like
which was
when doing a whole song, you know.
right. It was like, yo, J. Cole said it. He
Yeah,
said it, and it was like, yo, like when you're that guy, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Is he basically was like, yo, I'm whoever wanted, I'm smacking everybody. Like it sounded like J. Cole was about to be that dude, and like for me, like I've only encountered him like once, like in person, and he's a very like
Hmm.
humble, nice guy. So to start
Yeah.
something like was like, oh, and like the song wasn't like super strong, but I was just like, okay, okay, here we go. And then when when he walked it back, I was just like, oh, You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Man.
I didn't expect him to put a hit out on Kendrick. 'Cause you know what I'm saying? Like I thought they were just gonna be rapping back and forth because like initially that's what Kendrick started to do with everybody, and Drake
Yeah,
made it. Drake started bringing in all this other stuff, and
yeah,
Kendrick was like, "Hey, boom, I'm a bomb on you." But like I believe that Kendrick and J. Cole would have that the one chance for hip hop to show its battle side
that was
mainstream.
it. That was
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
In a mainstream, but like in a true lyrical context. That was the moment. That was the time for it to happen. And
and he
it could have
blew it.
happened with J. Cole and Kendrick. And J. Cole was like, no. And then like, bro, like, first of all, like no one thought what you said was like so crazy. Like you supposed to say his songs are boring. Because
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying? Like you're not supposed to be like, I really respect your songs, bro. No. Like you gotta diss them. You're supposed to.
yeah,
That's just my take on it.
yeah. It was supposed to be business, nothing personal, man. And it would have made for a way better battle.
Yeah. I honestly think like for my personal take, I think Kendrick J. Cole lyrically would have been a more interesting and challenging for
Yeah,
Kendrick. Way more challenging because like when you have to pull something out of the air and just I have to make myself sound better than you and convince people that I rap better than you. Like that's the hard part. If all I'm doing is talking about like like your family, like that's easy. That's the easy part. But when I start pulling apart the things you say and then flipping them, like that is difficult. And like that is what Kendrick and J. Cole could have been. But like instead we got, you know, A minor, which is it's great, but like that's not I'm saying like when people like out here screaming bars and all that, that's not bar.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, all the dissection of like, oh, he said this, and then like that's a triple entendre because he said it and then he showed it. Like, man, I don't care about like to the break of dawn. You know what I'm saying? LL said what he said. I knew exactly who he was talking about, and it was brutal. You know what I mean? But like Kendrick got it in him, but like he had to deal with the uh the R&B kid, and then like
yeah. Drake ain't really a battle rapper, anyways, man.
like he's a Canadian pop star. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? He was supposed to lose a Canadian pop star in a rap battle with someone that actually makes hip hop is it was over for you from the start.
it
That's like I
it's
said.
funny you said that too about him being a pop star because I interviewed Choclair like probably a week ago, and he said in Canada he's big as Celine Dion, who's pretty much a pop star.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Like I, I
I would.
I'm sure he has some records with him, but I haven't heard any records with Drake and Cardinal or Drake and Choclair or Drake and Socrates. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking time out, man, to do the interview. I'm gonna get off here and start clipping up some clips, man. Anytime you want to come back on, please do, man. And I'm gonna
Appreciate it.
stay in touch with you. I got your email. I do music reviews on Saturdays, so if you got any material, definitely love to review it, man.
Okay, dope, dope.
All right, Mr. Lynn, man. I appreciate it, man. You have a nice night, man.
Appreciate it, man. Stay
All
up, bro.
right,
All
peace.
right, peace.
Well, we ended the year off with a bang, Mr. Lynn, Company Flow. We just did Chocolate. We just did Brother J. We just did Black Sea from RBL Posse. We just had Just Ice recently. Tomorrow we got Tia Love. And very interesting what he said about the Ruckus thing with them sending the Body Rock single over for them to promote. That's a no-no, man. That's definitely a slap in the face and disrespectful. Why would you expect another artist to promote another artist's music on tour, even if they are a label mate? It doesn't necessarily mean they're cool or they have a relationship or anything, but that I thought that was a head scratcher, and definitely interested to hear what he had to say about J. Cole, man. Like, definitely got to clip up a lot of that. He definitely agreed with me on it was just disappointing that Cole backed down. from that battle, man. He had a chance to make history and really solidify himself as probably one of the goats of all time, man. But I would say now, I gotta walk that back a little bit. Well, appreciate y'all tuning in another episode live for Fayettenam, the one and only Paul Masson. Peace, and we out.